Lynn's in Fire Emblem Warriors.
It's the steps they steal.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the BLAZEPLAYS Let's Play, and oh boy, do I have an episode for you because the Nintendo Direct just happened and shit went down. Well, one thing in particular, yes, Lynn, shit did indeed go down. She used those tracking skills to find her way into Warriors. Alright, so let me calm down for a bit. It's just me again. I know I said I'd have Zane or Olivia back for the next part, but I asked them about doing stuff. Olivia and Zane, the thing is, because of how they are now, Zane's at college, Olivia's at sixth form, they can only do weekends. So it's going to be really restricted on how many episodes I can get them in. So they might not be there that much for the remainder of the LP. It might just be me. But on that note, quick announcement, Q&A session, bringing it back. Because it's going to be mostly just me, because I don't want to force, try to, not guilt, but, you know, I don't want to take Olivia and Zane out of their schedules. Because I know I've been through that phase of life. It's really hard when you've got all that work to do, and I really don't want to have to make them put it aside just so they can do commentary. I think that's a bit unfair. I mean, if they're up to it, then fine, but if they can only do weekends, they can only do weekends. So, because it's going to be just me and the parts are getting longer, I felt this is the best time to bring back the Q&A session, like I did with Binding Blade. Because I did say at the beginning of this LP, I'll probably do it towards, what was it? Towards like Cog of Destiny, and we're nearly there, so might as well just start it from like the next part onwards, or chapter 26X, because the next part I've got a lot to say just on the chapter itself, because, you know, it's the infamous one. So if you write your questions in the comments section, I will, you know, answer as many as I can over the course of the rest of this LP. You can ask multiple questions and stuff like that, you know, just feel free to, and if there's a question, say you forgot, just post it in the next video after that. Also, be sure to, if you have questions for Zane or Olivia, be sure to leave them as well, because remember Zane did say he would, like, if they are doing Q&A session, he'd like to be on that, so if I can get him, go. If you've got questions for Zane, you can leave them for him, and if I can get Olivia, if you've got questions for her, same principle. If you've got questions for them, leave them in the comment section as well. Okay, so thanks to Lynn being able having a Sakea roots and, you know, knowing how to like track people well and knowing the layout of the land, we are on the way to go and collect the Fire Emblem. This has probably got to be the most easiest and underwhelming way to get the Fire Emblem in any Fire Emblem game. Maybe minus the Telliot series, because it's kind of always with us. But the point is, like, you know, what was it? They have the Fire Emblem and then they lose it at the end of this chapter. It's like, wow. And the Fire Emblem, like, in this game, it's so kind of underwhelming, whereas in the other games, it's such a big thing. It's like, oh yeah, the Fire Emblem, yeah. It's such a minor thing. And, yeah, that conversation, it's like, Sonia's like, you know, because she thinks herself perfect, she thinks everything else is trash and beneath her. Like, literally every other thing, including Nino, which we'll find out later, is, like, just disgusting. It's like, you know, she absolutely just thinks everything is vile, and she's not a nice person, but you know, that's kind of what makes her a cool villain, just how evil she is, you know. Like with characters like Narcy and stuff, they're not too complex, but fucking hell are they evil. This is an interesting chapter actually, because depending on the combined levels of 4 different units from each side, this level will change, and the boss will change. Currently, we're doing Germ's chapter. I can't remember how to exactly pronounce it. Again, the E at the end always throws me off. Which is the result of having Dorcas, Guy, Barter, and Raven. Their combined levels are higher than Lucius, Priscilla, Urk, and Sarah. Now they won because Raven and Dorcas were higher than Lucius and Priscilla, because Priscilla's considered to be lower than Lucius. Lucius is higher than Dorcas, but Dorcas is not far behind, and Raven's the highest, so their levels thing. And Sarah, Guy, Barter, didn't use them, so, you know, they're kind of irrelevant. Which means that for Hex hard mode, I have to make sure that those levels are higher, which probably will work because I'm using Barter probably so I can get Carla, but the other 3 I won't touch. Whereas I will definitely be using Urk and Priscilla most likely, especially the early game. So by that time, they probably will have higher levels. So anyway, yeah, Sonia is consulting Nino about the job she has to do. Brendan's against it because it's definitely very dangerous, but Nino, bless her soul, wants to try so hard to please her mother, and like, she doesn't even want much out of it. All she wants, she goes through all this effort, and you know what she wants by the end of the day? A hug. That's all she ever wanted. Like, good lord. But it's also nice to see Brendan looking out for Nino, because she isn't, everyone just thinks that Nino is just Sonia's daughter. That she's not actually like Brendan's actual child or Lloyd and Linus's actual sister, but they treat her like family, and I really, really like that. I mean, ironic that the one she's not connected to treat her better. And Jafar's here again, because, you say Jafar, and he just appears anywhere. Watch, Jafar. See what I mean? Though he's good at his job. Yeah, he seems to have recovered from... what I want to know is, with Jafar, what was he doing? Because I remember in chapter 23, he got like almost to the point of death. Who the heck was he fighting? Do you think he was fighting Hector's brother? Or do you think maybe there's a Binding Blade character he ran into? I can't remember, like, who could he have ran into that he got so bad? No, or if he actually tried to fight Zephyr, Zephyr's like, nah, fuck it. Let's fucking do this. Which doesn't make any sense in the next chapter, what are you going to do? I'm trying to think, who could Jafar try to have... Like, who is his mission to assassinate and got so badly beaten up? Do you think he tried to fight Fargus? And Fargus just wrecked him. It's like, you may be an assassin, but I'm a fucking level 18 berserker. And Jafar has to go with Nino just in case she can't get the job done. Because, as wishful as Nino is, on a realistic note, this is the first time she's done this, and she's kind of too much of a kind soul. Whereas Jafar could probably, Jafar would do this in a heartbeat. Or will he? And Jafar's taken a very long pause. Oh, God. That's why I can't believe I missed some of these things in, in post-production. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, everything's been set up that, Zephyr will be unguarded, so they just have to go in and take him out. Bless. The way the sprites move, it's like, yeah, and that's it. That's the dude we've got to take down. And he looks coked out of his mind. Like, Jesus Christ. He kind of reminds me of Adon from Street Fighter, just without the grin. He just looks coked out of his head. Like, he probably doesn't even know what's going on. It's like, yeah, fire up, yeah. Though it's quite funny. 2 assassins, a sage, and a mage. Who'd have thought? Yeah. It's like, I was so good, and then Jafar came along. Yeah, would you want to fight him again? No. I can't beat Jafar. But once again, I think Eliwood comes to the realization that Black Fang isn't all evil, because bless her soul. Nino just, like, you look at Nino's face, it's like, how could you hate someone like that? She's so cutesy-wootsy. Just green hair and everything. Speaking of which, I wonder why in a lot of Japanese and anime stuff, they choose these hairstyles that like, aren't natural. I know it gives the characters more flavor and personality, it's just, it's, I always found it kind of odd, like, you choose the most unnatural hair colours. Last time I checked, you can't be born pink with pink hair. At least not yet. But even all of them know, like, if we talk to Nino, we should be okay. Because she at least looks, someone like that. And somehow he teleported. Again, Fire Emblem events, they always gotta fucking teleport. Yeah, you think they'll feast well, but you're not that much of a threat. Why? Because we have Raven. A promoted Raven. Nasty ones, yeah, the people we haven't used. It's like, wait, there's some bench warmers in your team. I don't want to fight them. Don't worry, you ain't fighting the bench warmers. That'd be some shit if at the last, map someone decides to bring back someone they haven't used for 20 chapters. That isn't a pre-promote or anything. And they're like so underleveled. And this guy has a thing for Lynn. Apparently she has lovely skin. Well, she does. She also has very nice legs. Very, very nice legs. And thanks to Fire Emblem Warriors, she now has jiggle physics. Which some people are a bit confused about, but then I just say Teen Ninja. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, and we've got to kill him or we're not getting out of here. So, you know, let's get to it. Something interesting to know about this chapter's, the difference in the chapters. Germa's one is more like about facing the enemies and springing traps, because a lot of the chapter is blocked off by doors and there's units inside which you won't know until you unlock the door. So this one has a lot more enemies coming at you and stuff. Kenneth's one, which we'll see in Hector Hard Mode, I'll make sure. That one is not so much about the enemies, there are less of them. Instead, it's more about trying to traverse the environment. Because it's snowy, it's automatically harder to move about, but also units are bolting and stuff, and trying to get through, it's like, each like intersection is really far spread apart, so you've really got to like travel quite far and try to get through it while surviving all the onslaught of boltings and stuff. So Kenneth's one, they try to attack you from range. Germa's one, they're just trying to attack you head on. So, you know. Overall, I think they're both kind of cool. They're cool snow levels for what it's worth. They ain't no Chapter 8 of Conquest, but they're cool. I do admit, I kind of prefer this one only because I think there's more to do. Like, you know, there's just more to discover, more to, like, there's more enemies to fight, and, you know, there isn't any bolting. I don't like bolting. Granted, in this game, it's nearly as bad as Binding Blade. That was fucking terrible. So yeah. So anyway, with that said, I think it's best I start talking about, so, not E3, the Nintendo Direct we just had. Also, because it's not snowing, it's the same as rain, we just slowed down. As you can see, quite a few weapons at the top right there. There's some mercenaries, there's some myrmidons. There's gonna be myrmidons, there's gonna be cavaliers, there's gonna be, there's nomads towards the west, the east, nomads to the east, archers to the north, and all that jazz. I'm gonna get Dorcas because I want him to upgrade. And it's good. And secret book. Gotta increase that skill level. Oh yeah, Dorcas' most recent level ups from the time I was playing were odd. He was getting the speed level ups in the places you shouldn't be getting level ups, which I never complain about, because if a unit's getting stats they shouldn't, that's a good thing. For the most part. To be fair, you don't want a, you don't really want a cleric with like really, really good strength stat, even though in this game it's magic. Well, you do want magic stat, but if strength and magic was separate, like in some of the other Fire Emblem games, you wouldn't want a thingy with really good strength stat. It's like, what am I going to do with this? Which does explain Ileana in Radiant Dawn. Her strength capped really early. I'm like, cool, she has high strength. What am I going to do with this? Why can't she have better magical speed? Please. So anyway, what do I think of the overall Direct? I thought it was overall pretty good. Not amazing, but I do love the amount of third-party support Nintendo's getting, which I think is really cool. And I think, I do like the new format they do, where they do quick announcements and they show lots of stuff. It's kind of a case of quality over quantity, but they still have good quality to go with it. So I do like their directs, I do like these type of directs that they're doing now, where there's a big focus on, a quick, highlight reel of everything that's going on, and some games get more attention than others. The first one I want to talk about is Warriors, because that's pretty much all you want to know. So, yeah, Lyn got announced, which I think everyone's really happy with, not because it's just Lyn, but also the prospect, I love the fact Lyn's in the game, because she's opened the gates for more of, non-Shadow Dragon, Awakening, and Fates characters. On top of that, Jesus Christ, she's going to kill this guy with a fucking steel bow. Yeah, see, Lyn's amazing. On top of that, it also might prove that the leak we saw, which I thought was fake and everyone else did, could be real. So we could get either Cecilia or Celica, I can't remember which one, but they could be real as well. I wouldn't put it past them to put Celica in the game just because it echoes, and she is more popular than Alm, even though some people think she's worse, but she is more popular. So, we could, I would not put it past them to see Celica and stuff. And Lyn looks cool. I am glad that they did it, but at the same time, I do think, as great as this is, and as wonderful as this prospect is, Fire Emblem Warriors, a lot of naysayers are like, okay, now we have a reason to get this game. As great as it is, I think they did this just because of damage control. I reckon if the backlash was not nearly as harsh, they wouldn't have bothered to put Lyn in. So I am kind of glad the backlash was that harsh, because we got Lyn. But I think they did it as a last minute thing, okay, shit, they're getting really angry, just fucking put Lyn in and shut them up. So I get the feeling Lyn, like, either, like, because I know, like, based on the campaign, we're going to travel through Shadow Dragon, Awakening, and Fates levels. I get the feeling, like, we're going to get, like, either one or, like, maybe only 2 Blazing Sword levels, or there might not be even there. Lyn just might be an unlockable character, and that might kind of suck. It might just undermine, you know, the whole getting everyone together, and Lyn's appearance could only be, like, just a quick thing, like the character's there but nothing else can work with it. Though I'd love to see, you know, like maybe Winds Across the Plain remixed and stuff like that. So I hope they do more than just put her in the game just for the sake of keeping people quiet, because that sounds like something they may have done just because of how bad the backlash was. I mean, I don't know, they could have actually been like, alright, you know, let's really go out there and, you know, do our best to include more of the franchise, which I hope they do. So hopefully there's more to it than just the fact that Lyn's playable. Maybe, you know, they'll include extra stuff. At the same time, I'm still really curious as to what the hell this game's going to include, because we know about the characters, but that's about it. Like, one thing that was so great about Fire Emblem Hyrule Warriors was in the Direct, they went into all the little details about the game, even if it was really minor, to show its connection to Zelda and just all the bonus stuff you can do. While this game, I doubt it's ever going to get a Direct even like before launch, this one, like, we know next to nothing else about the game. We know about, like, skills and stuff, but there's no demonstration. All we know about is, you know, level ups and the occasional, and, like, how different units play, the fact they fight on their mounts, which is kind of cool, but aside from that, you know, what is there about this game that makes it specifically Fire Emblem related? Like, what is there that separates this from other Warriors games? And I hope they do have stuff, because if they don't, then that's going to really suck, because I didn't want this to be a Warriors game which is a Fire Emblem paint job. I mean, Hyrule Warriors is one of the shining examples of the best crossovers, but they've done it in other games too. Their Titan one was cool because they actually adopted the 3D maneuver gear style of fighting and the way they fight, and I thought that was really, really cool, rather than just making it generic hack and slash. And the Arslan one, they had a much bigger focus on traveling across, like, battlefields, using armies, and switching weapons in combat, which I really loved. So, you know, I have heard some of their other recent crossovers are a bit lazy, but I hope this isn't the case of Fire Emblem Warriors, because there's so much you could do with it. And this support, you know, Eliwood and Ninian have now reached the A support, and here it comes to show just how honourable and caring Eliwood is, because Ninian has a secret she doesn't want to tell him. And he's fine with that. He's like, look, I don't care if you have a secret and it's really hard for you to tell. It's fine. Just come to me whenever you're upset, because, you know, I want to be there for you. I don't want to see you upset. You don't have to bear this burden. I basically love you. And for Ninian, it's something quite amazing, because she's never really felt, no one's ever really treated her like that. So you can see why they're such a beautiful couple. Because Ninian kind of wants that person to love her, and Eliwood is that person. He just loves her. He feels the need. You know, he wants to. He is that noble, you know, prince, and he wants to prove. Well, he just wants to be there for her, like, you know, like he should. And I really love that. Going back to Warriors. Oh, I need a quick drink. Hey, going back to Warriors. With Lyn being in the game, I could potentially see a lot of characters, not at launch. Like, I reckon, like, to be fair, we also, in the trailer, they did put out, I remember there was screen caps of, like, Shida and Navara, so that's cool. We got other Shadow Dragon characters, which, you know, that is very cool. So, you know, there's more than just Marth and Tiki, even though we haven't seen Tiki, but we know Tiki's going to be there. So, you know, there is stuff. There is definitely stuff, which I'm happy for, very happy for. So I reckon there will, like, if Fire Emblem Warriors is sells pretty decently well, I don't know how well, but I reckon if it sells pretty decently, they'll probably bank more on the DLC and add other characters and modes and stuff, which I hope they do. But at the same time, I hope they don't pull a scumbag move, and I hope they don't overcharge for their DLC, because, you know, I reckon people will really want, like, Ike or Hector or Ephraim in the game, like, really badly. And if they charge way too much, knowing that, that's going to be a real dickhead move, which I hope they don't do, because no offense, Koei Tecmo, I think you should price, like, if you are going to do new characters, be sure to do it as, like, one of those, like, things you did in Hyrule Warriors. It's like a bundle where you get extra stuff aside from just the characters. Like, we get extra maps based on those levels, new tracks, new skills, new equipment, and new characters, it should be like a DLC pack, not just a character. And if you are going to do that, I hope to God, because some of the early game stuff is a bit, maybe like, if they go into like Celicon, maybe Alm or Hector or Ellerwood, they do it for free, because I feel if you're going to have Lynn there, you should have the rest of the gang. And the Warrior and the roster could do some much needed expansion. And here's Dorcas, the first time I've used the Warrior in, a Let's Play, because I'm, legit using Warrior this time, not Berserker. And he gets access to bows, which surprisingly I'm actually going to make very good use out of. So anyway, I hope to God with Koei Tecmo they not only do give us quite a bit of DLC, but they don't overprice it, and it comes out at quite good intervals to keep everyone invested. The way I can think the game could stay quite fresh, and also just help to keep things interesting, because the Emblem Warriors is massively expansive, so you can keep this game's, you can keep the longevity of this game going for, you can keep this game's longevity going for a very long time. If you just keep expanding the roster and adding new stuff, be it villains, secondary characters, primary characters, all that jazz. There's a lot you can do with Warriors, and I hope they do that. But I am glad Lynn will be there from launch. It is a good day for Warriors. The backlash has died down. It's something we all wanted. Now we just desperately need Ike. It's sad that Max and I, in fact, Max and I were talking about this on Twitter after the thing. We agree, it feels like damage control. Like, if the backlash wasn't as hard, Lynn wouldn't be in the game, but I am glad she is. So, hopefully, Warriors, over time, it will start shaping up into the game Max and I pitched, or something along those lines. Because as of now, while I'm going to get it and I'm excited, it doesn't look too impressive, but if DLC, or like, they're going to introduce DLC, maybe they make it like a not game of the year, but a complete edition with everything, I reckon the DLC, if handled well, and I mean very well, can really elevate Fire Emblem Warriors into a much better game. I don't know how it is at the start, I can't judge. Maybe it comes out the gate and it's got so much content, I'm like, fucking hell, they were hiding a lot from us. But I just doubt that. So, we'll have to wait and see. But, if things, Lynn is a sign that things can definitely get better from here. The only place left to go now is up, and I hope it just keeps going up, up, and up, right into the sky, and becomes the Fire Emblem Warriors game we all deserve. Not the one we wanted, because if it was the one we wanted, we'd get every single character, and that's not possible. So I hope it's the Fire Emblem game that the fan base deserves. So, enough about Warriors. Let's move on to the rest of Nintendo's E3 conference. I keep saying E3. Nintendo's Direct. Okay, so on the 3DS side, they had just a final Metro trailer, which I think Ridley's in it. Also, it's pretty funny. Look, Armor Slayer, I'm super effective. You're doing 3 damage. So, I think Olivia and I pointed out that at the end it looked like we saw Ridley's hand, like a meta Ridley, which would be really cool. I mean, again, as I'm recording this, the game's out. I've ordered it. It just hasn't arrived yet. So, I'm gonna wait. And just, hopefully it will be there by the time I finish recording this. So, having bonus stuff like that is really cool. And it'd be cool to see how, this is what he was doing in his downtime between Corruption and Super Metroid. So, I was a robot in my downtime. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, what else is on the 3DS lineup? I don't remember. I mean, the 3DS one was pretty short. So, I'm just trying to think. What 3DS games did they show? I know there's another Professor Layton one which didn't have Professor Layton. Which my brother was like, wait, why if it's not Professor Layton, why the fuck is it called Professor Layton? It was just a funny thing. Oh yeah, go after Lynn. You're gonna regret this. One shot. Lynn one-shot someone with a bow. I never thought I'd live to see the day. The 3DS one I don't remember too. Oh yeah, the Ultra Sun and Moon stuff, which, to be honest, I'm not too excited for, because one, I think it's coming out quite recent, and I haven't even beat Sun and Moon yet, even though I am getting more into it. I will admit, towards the end, towards the later end of the game, it does get better, and oh my god, some of these Pokemon, like Salazzle, that, I think it's called Salazzle, and now Raven's telling me to play Path of Radiance. He got a crit on 9. Alright, Raven, you're the boss. What was it? Like, I have a Gengar. I know it's not a new Pokemon, but my Gengar's awesome. I have a Slowbro. Incineroar's cool. What else do I have that's really, really... Oh, my fucking Lurantis. I love my Lurantis. Like, beastly Pokemon. I remember I taught it Poison Jab. As of now, Poison Jab, Brick Break, that signature move it has, which is like Leaf Blade but it hits everyone, and Sword Stance. I hope to switch up Brick Break for a Rock Attack so I can hit Flying types. And Bug types as well, so, you know... Hopefully, what else do I have? What else do I have on my team? I've also got that Charabug thing, which I have yet to evolve because I'm not in the right location, but that thing is so versatile, it's not even funny. Just, I really like Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon doesn't look to be adding much, aside from the Celebi you get if you buy Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, which, even though the games are dated, I probably will get just because Gold, Silver, and Crystal are my first Pokemon games, they're my favorite Pokemon games. Favorite generation, Heart Gold, Soul Silver is my favorite Pokemon game. Jesus Christ, I just really want that, so I'm probably going to get that, and if I ever do get Ultra Sun and Moon, I'll probably get Celebi with it. So that's all I really remember for the eShop stuff. I mean, sorry, the 3DS stuff. In terms of the Switch stuff, that's interesting, because the first thing they showed was, if I remember, was Xenoblade 2, and I'm not going to lie, I was cringing so much throughout that entire demonstration. I was like, oh boy. For one thing, the voice acting is kind of bad, if you ask me. Like, I don't mind the British take, like, that they did with the original Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade 2 was more, they had more American actors, which I was fine with. I like the voice acting in both games. Here, though, it sounds kind of painful, I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting there like, oh boy, this is what they're going with? Why? So, that doesn't look... The voice acting isn't winning me over, but it's just voice acting. I can't really complain too much. You know, if I do, I'm going to go down the route of everyone with a Fates voice actor, which annoyed the hell out of me, so I'm not going to bitch too much. The game itself, I'm still not digging the art style. It looks too kid-friendly for me. I mean, the Titans look cool, and I like how different races have different, you know, like, some of them more steampunk, some of them more organic, some of them more angelic, some of them more militaristic. I like that, but everything just looks either way too kid-friendly or way too Japanese anime. But anyway, we're going to break here, and when we next come back, we're going to recruit a brand new character who has quite the ties to Isadora, finish up this chapter, and see just how evil of a bitch Sonia can be. But until then, thank you all very much for watching. See you next time.